Hello guys, today is going to be a video about the Halloween franchise and talk about my experience of all the Halloween movies. And hold up, wait, stop, just Christ, fuck. Okay, it was too hot in that man. I couldn't do it. It was too hot. As I said, this is going to be a video about the. Yeah, you can play the music, babe. Yeah. As I said, this is going to be my review and thoughts on the Halloween franchise. There's not going to be no footage or anything of any of the Halloween movies or anything. I'm just going to be doing that old-fashioned, pointing my camera on the DVDs of the Halloween franchise and just stating my opinion on it. I'm not going to go too in-depth into the videos, into the review, just pretty much giving my thoughts on some things I like, what I didn't like, what's my favorite, what's my least favorite, and just giving my overall opinion on the Michael Myers movies. That's it. I was going to do something other special, like a Halloween special with me and my friends that we were planning to do, but they're busy doing other things right now, so I decided to do something dull and say, hey, how about I review the Michael Myers movies and pretty much give my thoughts and opinions. And depending on how much, really depending if I feel like it after this video, I might give my opinion on another horror franchise, which might be Friday the 13th or Chucky or whatever I might think of. But I chose Michael Myers because, well, honestly, he's my favorite slasher killer, and I really do enjoy the Halloween movies, aside from 2 or 3 of them. But overall, we're just going to begin the video and, give my overall thoughts of the franchise. Cue transition. Okay guys, the review is about to start. I decided to put a shoebox right here because I'm going to put each Halloween movie right there while I talk about it. I'm not going to go too in-depth into the movies of each of them. I'm just going to talk about what I think of them, what's my opinion of them, what's my favorite, what's my least favorite. Like I said, I'm just going to do that while I set them up in front of this box, each of them. And speaking of the movies, they're right here. The first Halloween, all the way to Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. Of course, if you haven't already noticed, no, I don't have the special feature, the special edition or Blu-rays or anything of that. I do want to own those, but at this moment right now, I don't have the money to get those kind of stuff right now. I know some of them are cheap, but I'm trying not to get them just yet at this moment, but I do want them. But, yeah. I just want to show this off to the Kingdom Hearts fans. Those are my Kingdom Hearts collection, by the way. And honestly, they just sit there. Final Fantasy X, on the other hand, I know that's not Kingdom Hearts, but that's the first PlayStation Vita game I had, so I didn't know where to put it, so, I just had to put it there with the Kingdom Hearts collection. Okay, and they should get that from. Anyway, let's begin the review. Okay, of course, let's start with the one that started it all. John Carpenter's 1978 Halloween film. Honestly, this is the second horror film I saw. The first horror film I ever saw when I was trying to get into the horror genre, it was actually Friday the 13th Part 2 or 3, I can't remember. And that movie, and both of them were great. And my friends recommended me John Carpenter's Halloween, because a lot of people say this is actually one of the greatest horror films of its kind. And honestly, it is. I don't know one horror fan who hasn't seen the first original Halloween movie. If you haven't seen this movie, then don't consider yourself a horror fan. This is truly scary. When I first saw it, it was on AMC, and it was like around 7 or 7:30 at night, and this was actually during October, and it was at the perfect moment, the perfect time, because it started right after, Michael killed his sister, which is kind of terrible, because when the movie begins, you really don't know who the hell the killer is, until it's revealed, and it's a kid. So, that was shocking when I rewatched it again, if that's even a word, rewatch? I guess I say rerun. So when the rerun came on, I saw the beginning, and I said, okay, that's pretty creepy. I liked everything about it. I loved, of course, Michael Myers, Laurie Strode, Sam Loomis, and overall, the story of this was actually pretty good. I actually love the part when Dr. Sam Loomis talks about Michael, when he says he has the devil's eyes, and honestly, it just really gets under your skin how Loomis just figured out, well, who is this kid, and what's his motive, what is him, what is he? But overall, this is actually one of the greatest. There's not really too much I can say. There's a lot of jump scares. The music score is great. And speaking of the music scores, it's amazing. It's actually one of the most memorable horror soundtracks ever made. I keep playing the Michael Myers theme in my head every time I think of Halloween. It just keeps playing constantly over and over again. Honestly, I try to make a tradition. I try to watch it like every Halloween, especially when it's October 31st. And honestly, I do plan on watching it this month. So yeah, there you have it, Halloween. Like I said before, I'm not going too in depth into it, but pretty much it's definitely one of my favorites of all. To tell you guys the truth, this is probably my first or my second favorite Halloween movie. I'm probably gonna piss a lot of hardcore fans off saying this is my second favorite, but it is in the top 3. And of course, you have to love the original that started it all. That's right, John Carpenter strikes back again with Halloween 2. This one is really the biggest and the closest connection to the original because it literally still takes place on that same night. This movie has mixed opinions. Either it's good or it's okay. It's nowhere bad, but it's just alright. It's true, it doesn't beat the original. It does look like they were trying to beat the original, but it wasn't close. It added more characters into it, like 2 or 3, and Michael's kills are a little bit more gruesome than they were in the original. I have to say that everything in the format, everything that was in the original, they try to put it in a hotel perspective. And some people said it's not scary as it was like it was in the neighborhood. Honestly, I like the hotel aspect, though it could have been better. Some people didn't like it in the hotel because there were big hallways that you can see Michael walking around. And at least when he's in the neighborhood, like in the woods, you don't really see him. You know, he's hiding behind trees or he's hiding somewhere behind a car or something. But in the hotel, he's just walking around in long hallways and you can just see him. So people didn't really like the hotel because Michael didn't really hide a lot. Though I do love the kills because they are a little bit gruesome than they were in the first one. Overall, yeah, it's a good sequel. It's not bad and it's not terrible. It's just good or okay. It's really up to you, but it's nowhere bad or terrible. The ending was actually shocking that they actually wanted to kill off Sam Loomis in this movie and kill off Michael Myers. So of course we thought this was the final series. We thought this was the final movie of showing Michael Myers, and we thought there was only going to be 2 Halloween movies. But overall, this movie is actually great. It's really one of the greatest sequels. So yeah, if you saw the first one, you most definitely should check out the second one. Halloween 3, Season of the Witch. So what to say? Well, back then when this movie came out, people were shocked that they came out with a 3rd Halloween movie. And honestly, fans couldn't believe it. Everybody said, wait, didn't Michael Myers die in the last one? Well, probably he's gonna get revived somehow. So, on opening day, this had big-ass negative reviews. And it was all because of one reason. Michael Myers was not in it. Yeah. Well, it turns out after Halloween 2, they wanted to take Halloween at a different approach. They decided to make an anthology series out of it with a new Halloween theme each year. You know, each Halloween movie, like Halloween 4 would have been about something else, and then Halloween 5 would have been about something else. So they wanted to do something like that. But back then, people didn't understand what was going on. And people say 3 is still the worst today. But honestly, after the years gone by, it's not really all that terrible. It's actually good. In fact, I'd say it's one of my favorite Halloween sequels. Though, people say when you say one of your favorite Halloween sequels, people don't really count Halloween 3. But you have to. I mean, it has the fucking title. It has Halloween 3. But now looking back on it, yeah, it has no reason to be called Halloween 3. Because after Halloween 3, Michael Myers is just all the other ones. So, this one sticks out like a freaking sore thumb. In fact, they should just call it just Season of the Witch instead of it being the subtitle. It has no reason to be called Halloween 3. In fact, whoever brings up the movie, they just say Season of the Witch because it really has no right to be called Halloween 3 now. But honestly, it's one of my favorite Halloween sequels. I love it. The story is a little bit more gruesome than the first 2 Halloween films. All I'm gonna say is that it involves kids being squeezed to death from each Halloween mask, which each kid dies from. Yes, people, there's a movie where kids fucking die. You can't say this movie doesn't have fucking balls. Okay, but Halloween 3, yeah, it's one of my favorites. It's not as bad as everyone says. So, yeah, honestly, if you're a huge Michael Myers fan and you love the Halloween series, yeah, he's not in this one, but damn, it's a very damn good one, and you have to watch it and check it out, because it doesn't deserve the hate it gets. Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers. Well, after all the negative reviews of Halloween 3 Season of the Witch, fans demanded Michael Myers to come back. And so, they gave what the fans they want. They brought him back in Halloween 4. Halloween 4 is, once again, debatable if it's really good. Honestly, it's like Halloween 2. It's not terrible and it's not bad. Either it's a good movie or it's okay. It's really not that bad. For a sequel that had no reason for being made, it's actually pretty good. Daniel Harris plays a young Jamie Lloyd, who is supposed to be Laurie's little daughter. All the major cast members return except for Laurie Strode, which explains she dies, but they don't elaborate too much on it in the movie. Dr. Sam Loomis returns as, Donald Pleasence returns as Dr. Sam Loomis again, and he's always great as always. Danielle Harris was amazing, and Rachel, which I forget the name of the actor who played Rachel in this movie, but she's also good as well. So honestly, those are 3 awesome characters that you're rooting for throughout the entire movie. Everyone else, not so much. I don't remember Halloween 4 too much, but I can't even say this. Halloween 4 was actually the second Halloween movie I saw after the first one. Immediately after the first one on AMC, they played Halloween 4, and honestly, I remember being in love with this movie back then. I don't know why. Looking back on it, it's okay. Is it one of my favorite Halloween sequels? Well, I say in the top 4, and if that, it might be number 4. So, yeah, not too much to say about Halloween 4. It's actually one of the okay sequels. So honestly, after you watch Halloween 1, 2, and 3 and you're scared to watch Halloween 4, don't be scared, because it's really not that bad to watch. So yeah, it's a recommendation. Halloween 5, The Revenge of Michael Myers. You might think they could have stopped at number 2, or they could have stopped at number 4, but nope, we have a 5th one in the series. Well, after the huge cliffhanger in Halloween 4, I'm just gonna give it out already. If you haven't seen the movie, you might as well skip a little bit ahead. But after the huge cliffhanger of Halloween 4, when Jamie killed her stepmother, it was a huge shocker, I will admit. So fans were excited about how the hell are they going to continue something like that in Halloween 5. The answer? They don't. Yeah, they don't really follow up with what happened in Halloween 4 when Jamie killed her mother. Some people speculate that was pretty much like an explanation telling us that she's meant to grow up just like her uncle to start killing for no apparent reason. But for some reason, they just threw that shit out the window and said, no, we're gonna give it another approach. The idea of Jamie Lloyd having a psychic link with her uncle is really terrible. I mean, it could have worked if it was done well, but here it doesn't work. And first of all, Jamie Lloyd, unlike Halloween 4, Danielle Harris doesn't have a whole lot of dialogue going on in this movie, until at least to the final climax, of course. Well, close to the final climax. And Rachel, who was the other likable character in Part 4, she dies like during the beginning of the movie. Not immediately in the beginning, but at least, I guess, 10 or 15 minutes in, she dies. And yeah, that sucks. So with that said, the only 2 characters you're rooting for is actually Danielle Harris and Donald Pleasence. They are the only actors you're rooting for. Everybody else sucks. In Halloween 4, there were some characters you liked other than the other 3. Okay, in Halloween 4, aside from Jamie Lloyd, Rachel, and Sam Loomis, you cared about the policeman a little bit, but everyone here in this movie, oh my fucking, everyone sucks in this movie. Aside from Danielle Harris and Donald Pleasence, everybody else sucks. You really don't care about the characters in this movie. You don't care if they live or die. You just want Michael to dispose of them, and so the movie can finally go back where it's supposed to be. I also did like how they referenced the Myers house again from the original, though it didn't look absolutely nothing alike the original, but whatever. Another interesting about Halloween 5, it was said that Michael was meant to be revealed in this movie, and which was interesting because after Halloween 2, he was burned to death, so people were actually pretty curious what his face would look like. And honestly, it's not what you would suspect. I'm not gonna spoil that, but it's nothing too interesting. But one spoiling alert, you don't really see his face, so yeah. The ending to this, I thought it could have been better. I mean, the ending of this movie had no reason to have an ending like that. But I will admit, it did have shiver through my spines when I first saw the ending of Halloween 5, and it still gives me kind of chills when I see it. Overall, Halloween 5 is actually one of the weaker in the series. So yeah, after you watch 4, I really recommend you skip 5, because if you ignore 5, I swear you wouldn't be missing much. God damn it, they just couldn't leave it alone, could they? Halloween 6, The Curse of Michael Myers. Well, first of all, they don't even call it 6, it's just called Halloween, The Curse of Michael Myers. Yep, this is when they stopped numbering the sequels for some reason. It's not explained why. Well, actually, there are 2 different versions of Halloween 6. Well, first of all, the title was originally going to be called Halloween 666, but they dumped that away and decided to give it one of the most cliché titles of all, The Curse of Michael Myers. But we haven't even used the word cliché just yet because we're not even close to that other movie yet. Anyway, there are 2 different versions, like I said, of this movie. There's the bootleg version, and here's the original version, which is the version most people seen, like me. And the other version, which is the bootleg version of Halloween 6, it actually tells a Thorn cult about a Thorn cult who actually controls Michael Myers, and they actually, I repeat, they actually give us an explanation why Michael Myers kills people, which was a dumb idea. In the first Halloween movie, which is in John Carpenter's original, it was better when you heard Sam Loomis talking about he just has the devil's eyes. That's all you really needed to know. We didn't need an explanation of telling us why Michael killed. I guess they wanted to show more, giving us more information about Michael Myers like Halloween 2 did. But unlike Halloween 2, it didn't give us big information. In Halloween 2, all it did tell us was that Laurie was adopted by the Strode family, and that she's actually the second sister of Michael Myers. And honestly, that's all we needed to know. It didn't tell us his backstory that much. Here, they really go in depth telling us why he kills people, and I did not like that idea. It was so hated. The bootleg version was so terrible and just really awful. They decided to re-edit it in this version, which is the one everyone's seen, and decided, cut some things out. In this version, they don't really talk about the cult too much, but one thing that's never revealed is that they don't say Michael Myers is under control by some cult or anything. But even with all those fixing they did in this version, it didn't help a whole lot. I mean, I'd rather watch this one than the bootleg version, but this one, I'd rather watch this one instead. But compared to the other Halloween films, yeah, this is worse. In fact, this is worse than Halloween 5. So, once after you watch Halloween 4, you can skip 5, and you can most definitely skip Halloween 6, because once again, you will not be missing a damn thing. Halloween H2O 20 years later. When this movie was about to be released, it was literally the 20th anniversary of the first film, and there were rumors going around there was going to be another Halloween sequel. Well, with that being said, people couldn't believe it. One of the reasons was because there was going to be no Donald Pleasence. Sadly, unfortunately, what I forgot to mention, after Halloween 6 was done being made, Donald Pleasence unfortunately died after the making of Halloween 6, so yeah, rest in peace for him. But when they heard that another movie was out, they were like, how the hell are you going to make another Halloween Michael Myers movie without Donald Pleasence? Who the hell else can be the main character? Well, how about Jamie Lee Curtis? But no one ever suspected that she would return for a Halloween sequel, especially after 5 and 6. But she did. Speaking of 5 and 6, remember when I said you can ignore 5 and 6 and you wouldn't miss a damn thing? Well, in the timeline of Halloween H2O, believe it or not, Halloween's 3, 4, 5, and 6 actually never happened. It actually takes place a few years after Halloween 2. But some people say it takes place after the first movie. The only reason people say it takes place after the first movie is because they say his body was never found. They don't really mention how he survived the fire, because all they did say, we couldn't find his body. So people were like, oh, so they're talking about Halloween, the first Halloween when Michael Myers disappeared, when Dr. Loomis was, when Dr. Loomis shot him down and he just vanished. So people are saying, oh, his body was never found, so it takes place after the original. Honestly, it doesn't take place after the original. I say it takes place after Halloween 2. Why, you ask? Well, guys, one good reason why it takes place after Halloween 2. Yeah, they never mentioned the fire, but guess what? Laurie knows that's her brother. And Laurie didn't know that was her brother in, Halloween 2. So how the hell did Laurie know that's her brother? That wasn't revealed to the fans until Halloween 2. So, yeah, they don't explain the fire and everything, but here's another explanation why it takes place after Halloween 2. Not only Laurie knows that Michael is her brother, but Dr. Loomis is not in this movie. Yes, like I said, the actor who played him, which is Donald Pleasence, he did die after Halloween 6, but at the same time, his character, Sam Loomis, did die in Halloween 2, so that's another explanation why he's not in Halloween H2O. But honestly, it's a matter of opinion, but you can say it takes place after Halloween 2, but you can say it takes place after the original, but for me, it takes place after Halloween 2. But anyway, I didn't mean to go into depth into all that. Halloween H2O, it's debatable being one of the greatest sequels. In fact, back then, people loved this movie, but nowadays, people say it's okay. Honestly, you guys think it's okay? Honestly, I still think this is one of the greatest Halloween sequels. In fact, next to Halloween 2 and 4, and maybe 3 if I can count that, this is actually one of the greatest sequels I've ever seen. Jamie going up against Michael Myers head to head. She's tired of running, she's tired of hiding, she's actually fighting her brother face to face, and that's interesting. The final climax was really good. Though, when Michael and Jamie start fighting, when Michael and Laurie start fighting, it doesn't really become scary anymore. It's just a battle between brother and sister just fighting. In the ending of this movie, what can I say? It was amazing. People literally thought this was the final film in the series, but we were wrong. But Anyway, overall, Halloween H2O, it's great. After you watch Halloween 4, ignore 5, ignore 6, and just go to H2O. Because I swear once you watch this movie, you will not be disappointed. You'll be like, wow, this movie was fucking awesome. Oh god. Resurrection. People, should I even tell you why? Why do I have to review this one? Do I really have to review this one? Guys, the title alone, people. Resurrection. Halloween. Resurrection. Do I really have to? Why do I have to even have to review this one? Guys, you know it's terrible when you first say it. But I'm not going to say it again. Yes, people, everyone thought, no, you know what? H2O shouldn't be the last film of the series. Let's add one more to the series. They wanted Resurrection to be the last film in the series and end the Michael Myers series with this movie. Why? Who the hell fucking knows? Well, it turns out at the ending of Halloween H2O, well, again, I'm just going to have to spoil this because how else I'm supposed to tell you guys this, but it turns out when Laurie chopped off Michael's head in the last film, it turns out that that wasn't Michael Myers' head that she decapitated. It was a paramedic that Michael switched places with before, they found Michael's body. So, actually, Michael Myers was actually not decapitated. Laurie accidentally killed the wrong guy. So it drove her insane. I think they took her into an asylum. Michael tracks down Laurie and then he fucking kills her. Just like many people, I was just shocked. I was just speechless. I was like, really? They had the balls to kill the main character of the whole Halloween series? Are you serious? So when she died early in the film, and I mean like she dies before the she dies before even the credits show up and the title appears. Yes, so pretty much you can say it's a prologue before the real movie starts. So what's the real movie, you ask? Well, it's about Tyra Banks and Busta Rhymes talking about a reality show where a group of teens have to sleep over at the Michael Myers house. Dumb fucking idea. You're gonna bring teenagers to a murder house where a murder happened. It's like 20 or 21 years ago. Really, guys? That's not smart. Of course, one of the biggest negative things about this is that Busta Rhymes actually karate kicks Michael Myers. Really? You're gonna let a slasher killer like Michael Myers get his ass kicked by a karate kicking Busta Rhymes? Really? Well, people like to say that he ruins the movie, and honestly, he doesn't. I mean, he's not that good of an actor to begin with, but he didn't really destroy the film. It's actually just the whole premise of the movie. Why Halloween Resurrection? Why did you continue the series? Why couldn't it just end after Halloween 2? Why couldn't it just end after Halloween H2O? But no, we want to include another one in this series. I'm not going to go too in-depth about this one, but let me just say, Halloween Resurrection ends on another fucking cliffhanger. Surprisingly, they haven't made a Halloween 9, and honestly, we don't need a Halloween 9. But unfortunately, this is the film we're stuck with to be the final film in the series. But some fans say it ended with Halloween 2, some fans, like me, I say it ended after Halloween H2O. So Resurrection, much like Halloween 5 and 6, you can ignore the hell out of this one. That's right, Rob Zombie's Halloween. You know what? I couldn't believe that Rob Zombie was gonna remake the Halloween movie. When I heard people were back in 2006, when people were saying that when they said heavy metal band Rob Zombie was going to remake Halloween, honestly, I was kind of excited because first of all, I'm a huge heavy metal fan and I love Rob Zombie's music. And honestly, I love The Thousand Corpse, and I really, really love The Devil's Rejects. That's one of my favorite fucking movies of all. And I heard he was gonna remake the Halloween series. I said, oh yeah, there's gonna be tits and blood and gore going on in this movie. And you know what? It did not fucking disappoint. It definitely has what I was asking for. Now, of course, I hate remakes, especially, and I mean especially if it has something to do with the horror films. But honestly, this one's actually pretty good. Of course, if you can see, I have the Rob Zombie's Halloween remake, and I have the unrated version. My mom gave me this version, but I didn't want this one. Some scenes were cut out, and I wanted to see the unrated version. The unrated version, it's only like, 2, 3, 4, 5 scenes that were cut out in this movie, but it was worth it though. So honestly, I really rather recommend the unrated than this one. But anyway, the remake, it actually goes a little bit more in depth into Michael's character, pretty much like Halloween 2, and especially like Halloween 6. It gives us more explanation of Halloween's childhood, trying us to explain what made him what he was today. Honestly, it wasn't good as I thought it was. I mean, it was trying to tell us that he had a stripper mom, his dad was an asshole, and so was his sister, and that's why he's a killer today. I thought it could have been a lot more better. Now, some people say they hate the young Michael Myers and they don't like it how the movie portrays itself as a prequel telling us how Michael was. Honestly, I hate the idea too, but for some reason, I like the beginning of this movie. But then after it shows Kid Myers, it goes into adult Myers and it starts, recapping all the things that happened in the original movie. Not much to say about this movie, but honestly, it's actually one of the greatest horror film remakes, and I hate horror film remakes, but this one is actually a huge exception. Though, I'm probably saying that because I love Michael Myers and I'm a huge fan of Rob Zombie's music, so I don't know why I'm saying that, but this movie is still great to watch, and I still plan to watch it this month. So, if you're a real huge gore and blood-loving hound, and you love Rob Zombie's music, then I'm pretty sure this movie won't be disappointed to you, because it's actually one horror film remake you have to watch. Well, Rob Zombie strikes back again with Halloween 2. Well, unlike his Halloween remake, that was literally a remake of the original 1978 film. However, Halloween 2, Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, is actually its own sequel to his remake, which was not a good idea. I mean, it's an original idea to do that, but it didn't really work out as you thought it would. I mean, the first beginning of the movie makes you think it's gonna be good because it takes place in the hospital, like, the original Halloween 2. But then you find out it never actually fucking happened, and then the movie's just downhill from there. Yeah, just like many fans, I agree. After the hotel scene, the movie is just shit after that. I mean, what was this movie supposed to be? I think it's just like Halloween 6. It doesn't know what it's supposed to be, so it's just trying to throw itself out there. This is actually one of the worst, and I mean the worst Halloween sequels I have ever fucking seen. People, this movie is just complete trash, and it hurts me saying that because I like Rob Zombie and I like Michael Myers, but this is just shit. This is just really terrible. Honestly, you guys know how many times I watched this film? I think only twice in my life. Yes, people, I watched this movie twice. I can't watch it the third time. I don't think I can sit through it a third time. If I wanted to watch this movie again, I swear to you, I have to be fucking drunk, or if I had to be really goddamn bored to watch this movie. It's not entertaining, the ending sucks, the whole plot of this movie sucks. I really don't want to talk about it. I really want to end this one right here, because Halloween 2 is just terrible. Well, yeah, it's just terrible. Next to 5 and 6 is really one of the worst. In fact, in the whole Halloween series, I hate 5, 6, and especially Halloween 2. The other Halloween films are great, but 5, 6, and 2... in Resurrection, I'm sorry. Yeah, 5, 6, Resurrection, and Halloween 2, 4 of those are the worst in the Halloween series. Which one's the number one worst? Honestly, that's up to you. Me, I haven't made up my mind which one I hate the most. But I gotta say it's between Halloween Resurrection and Halloween 2. Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, so I don't know. And, yeah, that's all the films. Right there. It turns out originally there was meant to be a Halloween 3 directed by Rob Zombie. But for some reason it got trashed, and it was originally meant to be called Halloween 3D. It was meant to come out like in 2010, 11, or 12, but then the movie got rejected because of the bad reviews of Halloween 2. Honestly, I really wanted to see Halloween 3D because, well, I don't know, probably it could redeem after what Halloween 2 did. Halloween 2 just destroyed Michael Myers for good. Rob Zombie got it right, but then he turned into complete trash, and I don't mean the gore way, I mean the terrible trash, like piece of shit way. But yeah, that's the Halloween films for you there. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm sorry I didn't go too in-depth into the videos on the Halloween series a little bit, but like I said, I'm just being lazy right now. But my next videos will be a lot better than this. After I get my job and my schedule, like in college, everything situated, my videos will be a lot better than they are. This was just a lazy video and I just got bored, but hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope you guys stay tuned for my other videos. Take good, take care, and happy Halloween, guys. I'll see you later.